Hello, human earthlings. This is the Big Dirty Nerd. Once again, I have a new collectible that I'm looking at this week. One of my favorite characters from the X-Men franchise, Cable, also known as Nathan Summers. Nathan Charles Summers. Also known as Nathan Dayspring Ascanison. He's also known as Cable. He is a time-traveling mutant that was born to Madeline Pryor and Scott Summers way back in the day, infected by Apocalypse with a techno-organic virus, which is turning his body into a machine, using his telekinetic powers to hold the techno-organic virus at bay. And oh my god, what a distorted history this guy has between jumping back and forth through time, being involved with Wolverine, being enemies with Deadpool, being enemies with Apocalypse, leading X-Force, leading the New Mutants, becoming an X-Man. You are looking at one of the most storied characters in the history of the X-Men franchise. And I've got him here as a Marvel Select collectible, which I picked up a couple of weeks ago at Empire Atlantic here in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. Once again, it's just the standard Marvel Select packaging. It's got the nice picture on the side, nice picture there of Cable, a little bit of information on the back. Who I scraped up made a scrapey sound. Information here about the character himself. Other characters you might be interested in, like Zombie Magneto, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man variant, and just a clear packaging that I'm going to rip the shit out of right now so we can get in and take a look at this highly detailed. I'm actually surprised with how much detail is on this figure. The detail Marvel Select has been through the roof lately, which is really, really good. I like to see a lot of detail in their figures. I like the Marvel Select line. I'm a huge fan of the Marvel Select line. It's currently one of the top collectible lines out there, which I really, really, really enjoy just looking at. I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. Alright, so we're going to take a quick little break here while I get this guy out of his packaging, and then I'll get back to you and we'll take a look at the character in more depth. Alright, now that we've got the Ascani Son freed from his plastic prison, let's take a look at the amount of detail in this figure. It's absolutely amazing. First of all, you notice he comes with a BFG. Now, if you don't know what a BFG is, it's quite a simple acronym. It's Big Fucking Gun. Look at the size of this thing. The gun is almost as big as the figure. It's a humongous rifle. In fact, it barely fits in his hand, and it doesn't quite fit the way a gun should fit underneath the shoulder. But you know what? It still looks pretty cool. It's a very Rob Liefeld-esque type of weapon. Who, if you guys remember Rob Liefeld, who was the creator of Cable, he used to draw guns big and bulky, very square-like. In fact, here's the perfect example of a Rob Liefeld type looking weapon. It's clunky, it's square, it's got all kinds of weird angles, it's got a weird barrel on it. Rob Liefeld had a very different aesthetic. I've never been a huge fan of Rob Liefeld, although I'll give him the credit for creating awesome characters like Cable and Deadpool. So anyway, let's just take a look now at the base here. The base is actually very nice, and in fact, this character is so top heavy, he won't stand up without use of the base. And the base, unlike most Marvel Select bases, instead of having just one foot peg, it actually has two to keep the figure steady. And it's needed because the character, as you can see, these shoulder pads here make the figure quite top heavy. And without the base, you wouldn't be able to keep him in place. You use this bigger gun here as a counterbalance to all the detail and all the weight that's being distributed across the shoulders here. I'm going to bring him in a little bit closer here so you can see some of the detail. I mean, he looks just like he's been ripped from the comics. Scraggly, dirty, Harry-esque. You know, he looks like he's been through hell and back, which the character actually has been through hell and back. So it's quite telling of what the character's been through with all the detail. I mean, you can see the amount of detail. You know, again, once once you take a closer look at everything that's going on here on the front, you see that it's a throwback very much to the way Rob Liefeld drew the character. Lots of pouches, big, bulky items strapped throughout him. He's got grenades here. He's got some kind of what looks to be explosive devices, pouches, more grenades. And I'm just going to turn this around slowly because I don't want to tip the character over. I don't want to tip the figure over. You turn him around here. I mean, you can see the detail, the amount of detail here. Right here on the side pouch, on his pistol pouch. He's got all kinds of detail, buckles and straps, wicked amount of detail. This knife right here actually comes out. I don't want to see if oh, look, we can see Cable's bum, yeah. See if I can get this out of here without tipping. Yeah, see, you can see the knife comes out. Very, very cool added touch. Once again, Marvel Select doing their best. Let's move him away here. The amount of detail, even like in his hair, is just absolutely fantastic. It looks like his hair's been brushed back through years and years of exposure. Now, the base that he's standing on is also very important to the character. During the original X-Force run, the latter part of the New Mutants comic, when Cable took over, when Cable was introduced, and the early X-Force issues, we were introduced to a character by the name of Strife, who apparently was or is a clone of Cable, which is kind of interesting. Without the had all his mutant abilities without the techno-organic virus, and not as powerful a telekinetic. Strife, for a little while, tried to convince everybody that he was the actual son of Scott and Madeline Pryor. Of course, it was found out he was just a clone of the baby. So, again, very complicated, soap opera-ish type of storyline going on there with Cable and Strife, his arch enemy. But you'll see here, this is Strife's helmet. So, and Cable is stepping on Strife's cape. There's Strife's shoulder pad in the back there. So it looks like he just got finished kicking Strife's ass, which is very, very cool. We've got the Telltale X right here up on his chest piece. He's got the big high collar, which was quite prominent in the comics. I'll just bring it in and you can see the big high collar right here. Overall, a tremendous amount of detail. Now, I like to take my Marvel Selects out, pose them, put them up on the shelf. I've noticed here lately that the Marvel Select figures have gone with a couple of different joint systems. Like right here, you can see a couple of, I don't know, yeah, you can actually. You can see a couple of peg holes. I don't like this joint. It tends to be a little bit loose. I've got a Captain America Winter Soldier figure, and the joints are very, very loose. These don't seem to be as loose, so maybe they've made some improvements. So that's good to see. I prefer the ball type of joint. I don't really like this type of joint. But if they're making improvements to it and the joints are stiff so that the figure is not flopping all over, then I guess it's okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Now, a couple of other things that you might see here on the figure. You'll see this left side of the figure is metallic. That's part of Cable's techno-organic virus that he's been infected with. Looks very cool, awful lot of detail. Reminds me a lot of the Colossus figure because of the similarities between Colossus's musculature and Cable's musculature. Very neat. You'll also notice here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but right here he's got the star pattern on one eye and his other eye is bionic. So, I mean, there's a lot of detail, a lot of attention being paid to detail about that. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days either. I don't know. Let's just see if I can... I'm going to have to move the camera here. I don't like really doing this because I don't have steady hands. But let's just see if we can get in close and you can see what I'm talking about. Lot of detail on the face. An awful lot of detail on the face. Even got frown lines. Like, he looks like he's ready to kick some serious ass. Which is great. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Love this figure. Love this character. Very glad I went out and got this. Absolutely, I recommend anybody who's a fan of Cable or a fan of the X-Men, go out and get this one. It was highly sought after. Apparently, it's going on eBay now for more than what the purchase price is, the retail suggested price is, which is kind of cool. I've got no intentions of getting rid of mine, so don't even ask. But all in all, I really, really like this character. I like the amount of detail on the character. I like what they've done with this. Even if they had to do throw in some Rob Liefeld like stuff in here. Whoop, stupid looking gun. Whoop, 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 whoop. So anyway, that's all I've got to say for this figure. I really, really enjoyed it. I liked it. I'm glad I picked it up. It's going to go up on my shelf for some shelf porn. And maybe I'll do a review of some of my other figures so you can see how the figures differ. With regards to the joint... Oh, sorry, I had Subway for supper and it's starting to talk back to me here now. With regards to the joint systems. Especially here at the hips. Alright, that's all for this big dirty review, folks. Thank you very much. Don't forget, Atlanticon is coming up in the fall, September 25th to 27th. Tickets are on sale right now. You can get them online, www.atlanti-con.com. Right here is our web address. You can get the tickets online, go over there, click buy tickets, or you can actually purchase them at 3 locations here in Corner Brook. You can purchase them at Downtown Entertainment in the Valley Mall. You can purchase them at Empire Atlantic over on Herald Avenue, or you can purchase them at the Lair on Broadway. Go buy your tickets now because tickets are on sale right now for an early bird price. Once you buy your tickets at the door, you're going to pay a little bit more. So get your tickets now, get your tickets soon. So you don't have to get hit with any extra cost when you come to the door. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Stay up to date with everything that we're doing on Twitter. At ATLANTI_con. The address is covered by Cable's head. Is right here. ATLANTI_con. And follow us on Facebook. Reach out and say hello through our Facebook page. Join our Facebook group. Do whatever you got to do to get in touch because we love hearing from other nerds. Alright, that's it for right now, everybody. Next week, I don't know what I'll be doing for my next review. I'm starting to get a little bit low on things to review here, and quite frankly, I'm running out of space in the Geek Cave to store stuff. So I don't know what my next review is going to be. It won't be anything new. I'll be reviewing something that I've had sitting on my shelf for a while, I think. Alright, so that's everything. Take care, keep calm, and geek on. Peace.